Module 5, engaging delivery, bringing your story to life. Even the best crafted story or most insightful interpretation can fall flat if it's delivered in a monotone or buried beneath nervous gestures. Delivery matters. In fact, it's often the difference between your audience tuning in or tuning out. Let's begin with something essential. Communication isn't just about transmitting facts, it's about meaning making. It's a shared experience where the how often speaks louder than the what. Repeated studies have shown that we attribute 55% of a speaker's authenticity to body language, 38% to tone of voice, and only 7% to the actual words spoken. That means your posture, your facial expressions, your vocal inflection, they're doing most of the heavy lifting. And history gives us a dramatic example. In the first ever televised US presidential debate, Kennedy versus Nixon, 1960, television viewers overwhelmingly believed Kennedy had won. He looked relaxed, confident, and charismatic. But radio listeners who couldn't see either candidate thought Nixon had the edge. Same words, different impact. What made the difference? Presence. Let's break it down. There are a few foundational pieces that make your delivery spark. Number one is voice. Use energy and variation. Let excitement rise in your tone when appropriate. Slow down to emphasize something important. Use silence. A pause can be powerful. 2, body language. Keep an open stance. Use natural gestures. Let your facial expressions mirror your message. A warm smile, widened eyes, a tilted head can all communicate curiosity, wonder, or sincerity. Avoid crossing your arms, hiding your hands, or pacing aimlessly. Number 3, pacing. Not too fast, not too slow. Give your guests time to absorb what you're saying, especially when delivering something rich or evocative. Vary your rhythm so it doesn't feel flat. 4, authenticity. Don't try to be someone else. Be yourself, but be present. Speak like a real person having a real conversation. Even big topics land better with a human tone. And number 5, engagement. Draw your guests in. Ask a question. Pause for reflection. Prompt them to observe something or imagine a scenario. Invite interaction whenever it's possible. For example, hey, find something nearby that's older than you. Recognizing what can get in the way of effective delivery is just as important as knowing how to do it well. Let's explore what I call the 7 key barriers to communication, and we experience all of these. The first one is physical barriers. Example, trying to explain glacial features on a windy ridge with no mic, your voice is lost. Solution, bring the group closer, face into the wind, or save the story for a more sheltered spot. 2, physiological barriers. Example, guests on a hot desert hike are tired and dehydrated. They stop listening. Solution, keep it short. Move into shade. Offer water. Make your tone lighter. 3, psychological barriers. Example, a guest who's afraid of flying hears your explanation about turbulence but is too anxious to absorb it. Solution, slow down. Be empathetic. Speak calmly. Number 4, semantic barriers. Using scientific names for birds on a family-friendly walk. The kids, and maybe the parents, tune out. Solution, use plain language or metaphors. Example, this bird, it's the jungle's morning alarm clock. Number 5, cultural barriers. And we could do a whole course on just this, but just in a really common example. Referencing a political event to an international audience without context. Solution, use examples with universal human resonance. That is things like food, family, love, risk. Number 6, interpersonal barriers. You and a co-guide have different approaches and contradict each other in front of guests. It undermines your message. Solution, debrief before the tour. align your tone and approach. And lastly, perceptual barriers. A guest assumes the trip is just a photo op and doesn't see the value in interpretive stops. Frame your story in ways that link to what they value. What you'll see here is what photographers dream of capturing, but it's what you feel standing here that you'll remember. Let's take a minute here to revisit Module 3 and liven up the dead spaces. Sometimes you'll hit moments of transition, moving between sites, waiting for groups to assemble, walking a trail. Don't let these go dead. Use them. Ask a generative question. Do you have anything at home that this reminds you of? Tell a teaser. Or the next stop, let's just say it has a smell you'll never forget. Prompt sensory noticing. Example, take a moment. Let the silence settle. What's the softest thing you can hear? Even a few seconds of attentiveness can turn filler into flavour. So pause here and take a short story or interpretive piece you know well, something 30 to 60 seconds. First, speak it out loud in a neutral, flat tone, just the facts. Then, do it again. This time, add warmth. Use gesture, let your face carry some of the emotion, and a pause. Emphasise a word that matters. Use your voice to pull the guest in. Feel the difference? That's what delivery does. Now jot down one thing you want to work on. Maybe it's speaking slower. Maybe it's keeping your hands visible. Maybe it's remembering to smile when you start. Whatever it is, practice it. That's how great delivery becomes second nature. A closing thought. Stories live in the telling. The more alive you are when you tell them, the more memorable they become for your guests. And delivery, it's not performance for show, it's presence. It's the full-bodied way you say, this matters, I want you to feel it too. Let's move on to our final module, making the magic personal. Kia ora. Thank you.